does it feel so damn good when I scream, when I yell, when I act like I'm 5? There's nothing I can do about it. I cannot help acting the way I do, because that's me. Like right now, I need coffee! The water's filling the coffee tank. Exactly. Thank you. Filling coffee. And the only type of water you should be drinking is the bubble. What do we call it? LaCroix, son.
You're giving the plants LaCroix? No, you're not.
He's got a stick.
Doesn't look good. So I want to talk about my favorite subject: absolute and complete failure. It's really interesting. The last like 3 days, the reason why I was thinking about this is because I've been getting a couple DMs from a few nail technicians who are like, I'm struggling, I've been trying this for 3 months, I watch your guys' videos, I'm trying to build a clientele. My first thought is, of course, like, I'm empathetic towards that. Like, I understand, I get it. But then my second thought is, you just started. Failure is 100,000% part of this process. You cannot get away from that. Put your seatbelt on. Like, you got a long way to go. But I wanted to just kind of like talk about this in terms of that actual beginning process. You know, like a month goes by, it's a long ass time, right? It feels like an eternity of like, dude, how am I gonna get through this, right?
I actually, even current day, still have my original appointment book, my very first one. First of all, my only appointment was my best friend, my roommate.
Wait, for how long?
Several months. Like, and every once in a while, you know, you'd get the random walk-in, because it was a tanning salon, so like every now and then somebody would be like, oh, let me get my nails done. And for months it was just her, and like even on the appointment book you can just see like all of this free space and just like one.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, and it takes forever, and even once you start building like a consistent clientele, you're still only seeing that 1 or 2 people every couple of weeks, so then those weeks in between time are open. And same like what you were saying, I see comments on our videos and they're like, oh, I've been at it for a year and still building. I'm like, yeah. Like, I always tell people, generally speaking, building takes like at least 3 years.
That's like real evidence of, because we forget, right? We can forget, like after you have some success or you build a clientele, it's easy to forget like, shit, how God, that was rough, right? But looking at that book, it brings you right back like, damn, I had my best friend as a client for months. Like, I always talk about the amount of time it took for us to even like start building this business. And I say 13 years, because like, it's like 8 years. I came on board the 8-year mark, right? And like, I jumped on board, we were dying. My mom, my brother, myself, my uncle, we were dying, right? And then it took another 5 years to get to 0, like to actually pay our debts and stuff. I remember Greg and I having the conversation, was like, bro, if we can just get to 0, please, just no debt. Like, it took another 5 freaking years, 13 freaking years. People are like, you guys are nuts.
It's just like you, depending on me, depending on mom, all of us were all like just hustling, sure, like, we're just make ends meet.
Of course.
You know, and it was like going out, doing classes, teaching.
Constantly.
You know, getting a few bucks here and there.
Yep.
Just to get the bills there.
Yeah.
When you're building a clientele, as you're looking around at the other girls and they're just busy. Seeing the other girls go back and forth, that can be really hard, but then a lot of them, they're just not truthful and what it took to build. So you see them and they're like, yeah, I built this clientele in a month.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me? But you just have to realize it took them just as long as it took you.
Yeah.
There is no difference between you and them when you first started.
Yeah.
Everybody struggled. Everybody wasn't terrific and amazing at it at first.
Not only does it take time to build, you're still learning. You're sitting there waiting, and your nails are going to be a little questionable, and they're probably going to take a while. So like,
that's part of why it takes time.
And that's why I always say, like, It's like, oh, I want a client. Oh, I want a client. Oh crap, I have a client.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I didn't have a client. I wish I didn't have a client. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So what they need to be doing is taking that time and practice, because
Right.
a lot of them just won't stick around.
Right.
They're like, okay, I don't have clients, I'm gonna leave.
I feel like probably part of the biggest demise of salon techs, even outside of just nails, is you go to work and you get there at like 10 and you have nobody scheduled.
Right.
So by noon, you're bored and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to go home. I don't have anything to do.
Right.
No, that's
Yeah.
100% not the answer, because I've seen people build, and I did it, and I've been in a salon with a lot of people, and the people that walk out at noon because they're bored, most people don't come in until after work. So after
Right.
5, you're getting these phone calls like, hey, is there anybody available? And I'm sitting in the salon busy because I have a clientele.
Right.
And I know that these other techs don't. And I'm like, nope, nobody's here.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, what am I going to do? Call somebody to come in? Like, the client doesn't want to wait for that.
Right.
But they will say that as they're
Yeah,
walking
well,
out.
call me.
Call me.
No.
Honey, I'm busy. I don't even take calls from my own clients while I'm doing clients, you know, and I don't have time to go up to your book. Oh no, she can't do 4, but she can do.
Because then you're taking time
Because
away
they're
from
like,
your
oh,
client.
just
Yeah.
schedule it for me. You know, like no. And I've talked to many girls that I would bring into my salon, and I would tell them this: like, you have to pay your dues at the salon. You have to sit here, and it sucks. And they're like, oh yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but how many actually do it, right?
But
Like,
because a weekend, you're
Yeah.
like, this sucks.
yeah.
Paying your dues is a real thing in business, in the nail business. It's supposed to suck, but the beautiful thing is that there's technology now. So like while you're sitting there and practicing, you can also be on social media connecting and building awareness. The message here is shit's gonna take a while. I keep seeing that. I've just started. I'm not, yeah, because you just started. So it's understandable. And also it is a double whammy. Like Steph is saying, you're getting your technique down and you're trying to build a clientele at the same time is really tough. So to that I say, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Ramon, what's that game show, bro? What is it called? Press your luck!